Dudes, it's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So, in about 24 hours from right now, we got the final Infested Lich Devstream. Yeah, it feels like we've been talking about these forever, but yeah, they're finally going to be having the release date and all that other information coming out tomorrow on the live stream. So I'll be covering that extensively, but today, we've got our tradition of Devstream bingo. We're going to try to predict what is actually happening on the dev stream before it actually comes out. And we have gotten a good amount of information beforehand on what's happening in this dev stream. But we're going to take it even further with some more specific fun predictions. So if you enjoy these types of fun videos, make sure you sub to this channel, do daily Warframe video uploads. Dev stream overview video will be tomorrow night, and we'll record it live on stream too. So if you want to come by the live stream, there will be an omni forma, well, it's actually an aura forma drop, which will become omni forma after the stream. As a drop. And then in the future, I'll be doing actually Omni Forma bundle giveaways on my live streams as they've been approved by DE now. So, yeah, it's going to be really fun. The live stream if you come stop by tomorrow. All right, but enough of that. Let's go over what we have today as far as predictions and what I'm thinking might be some fun things they could add as surprises in this dev stream. So let's start off with the dev stream bingo card. And we did create this live on stream as well. So if you want to be part of creating this next time, come by the live stream again. Did I plug that enough? I think I did. Okay. Moving on to the first prediction. Now, DE did tell us there are some Tenogen skins on the way. And these Tenogen skins will be, for some of them, characters that have never gotten a Tenogen skin before. So as far as the first prediction, I have put my first prediction as a Varuna skin. I think they said like 5 new Tenogen skins. Varuna does have a skin, like the Void Shell skin, but that's all she has. So there might be some other frames that might need new skins more than Varuna, but Varuna is a pretty awesome frame that a lot of people like and looks pretty cool. So there's like a Kuva Varuna skin on the workshop that has not gotten approved yet as far as we can tell, but that could be the one that's getting added, the Kuvail Varuna skin. By the way, any kind of Varuna skin will be able to be filling that square. Next one, new quest. So we are getting 4 new proto frames and infested liches in this March update. I feel like that's too much new stuff not to add a new quest. So there's one of my predictions right there. A new quest of any nature. Now, the thing is, am I expecting a long, like multiple hour quest? Of course not. I'm expecting maybe a cutscene and one mission, if that, like introducing you to the Infested Lich system. But beyond that, I'm not expecting like New War 2.0. But if we get anything new quest related, you can fill in that square as well. So I did say there's 4 new proto frames. And if you have played 1999 already, you might know that the quality level of the proto frames we have, the 6 we have, like Cyto 9, Nyx, Arthur, all of them, there's a very, very high quality level as far as, how implemented they are into the game. They have their own quest, they've got their own dialogue and missions, they've got their own calendar bus for the 1999 calendar weekly. Like, they are fully implemented into the 1999 update. And we're getting 4 new proto frames. So I'm not sure, and it's just speculation. I don't know if the quality level or the implementation to the game will be on the same level with these next proto frames. When I say quality level, I don't mean like how good they look or like how cool they are. I mean like, okay, are they going to have their own quest? Are they going to have, all this in-depth stuff like the proto frames from 1999 will or did? I don't think they will, but also one aspect of that is them air quotes being dateable. You can date these proto frames, bring them back to your base of operations and just hang out with them or whatever. And then there's 1999 December, or the Winter Kiss. So, will they have all those features? Hopefully. But if they don't, I wouldn't be too surprised, as these are bonus proto frames here at the end. Next, Slam Nerf. The amount of people complaining about the Magistar on the forums and also, just random posts and stuff is kind of insane. Now, the thing is, those are the same people that complain the game is too hard at the same time. Like, why are these enemies so hard in 1999? So, so they're complaining that the game is too easy when they have people in their squad with the Magistar, and then they're complaining it's too hard when they're solo. So, hopefully D doesn't cave to the complainers, because the Magistar is already getting nerfed for the stat stick removal. So they nerfed the slam attack part of it too. That would be seriously lame. So, let's hope not, but I want to give the complainers a little bit of recognition here. Yeah, I see your pathetic whining, and it is very pathetic. Keep it up. Moving on to the next one here. Kullervo skin. So, just like Varuna only having the Void Shell skin, Kullervo is in a worse state. Kullervo has no skins at all. He has an alternate helmet. So, if they had a Kullervo Tenogen skin, I think Kullervo players would appreciate that. I would appreciate that. I play Kullervo more. I think Kullervo's base skin is a little bit on the goofy side for me. His power level is high for damage, but yeah, he does not look the coolest in my opinion. Although he has those daggers that like fly out of them, that's cool. So yeah, new Kalervo's gonna be great as he has literally nothing, and so does Citrine. So yeah, let's hope it's one of those three. Next one, Dante Augment. They confirmed on the last dev short there will be new augments for four frames on here, and to put it in perspective, a lot of frames in this game already have an augment. Like even Corvex has an augment. He's not even a year old. Also, actually, no, Corvex's like a year and a half old actually at this point. The frame Caliban doesn't have one, but we'll get to that square later. So as far as a frame that could get an augment, I think Dante could get an augment. I have no idea what it would do. So give me some speculative ideas of Dante augments in the comments. But yeah, I think Dante could get an augment here, as he's very popular. He doesn't really need an augment, but you got room for it on the bill if they did add a new one, because Dante doesn't need that many stats, really. Next, Acuity Mods Nerf/Fix. If you watched my Kufa Checker video from like a couple months ago, and you saw like the easy 2 billion damage, that's not the only weapon that does that. Certain weapons in Warframe with the new Acuity mods that drop from these new missions, they do like maybe more damage than they're supposed to as far as red crits. It's really nice, and it makes us use these weapons that require aiming a lot more. As you can see in the footage, I'm spamming rocket launcher pistols. There's no headshots in this footage. So I think the Acuity mods being really crazy strong is good, but the issue is that not every weapon has the crazy red crit potential that some of these weapons like the Kuva Checker do with Acuity. So we've had the Acuity mods the way they are since like December or whenever they came out. There's been no nerfs to them. So I'm expecting there to be either them addressing it or they're never going to change it ever again. I don't know. We'll see. But it might be the time that they actually mention that, like, oh yeah, you know, you weren't supposed to be doing red crits like that in the Quello or as hard. You're supposed to get red crits, but every weapon's supposed to have red crits if it's going to be like that, in my opinion. So we'll see if they actually mention that. But yeah, some of them definitely are doing more damage than they're supposed to, and it's really fun. Next, Ash Big Buffs. So when DE first announced what they call it again, Ash retouches or whatever. It's not a full rework. At first, it was going to be like a pseudo-exalted rework for everybody. But then they gave additional information. Ash is actually getting a mini retouch. You can just call it a mini rework if you really wanted to not, mince words here. A mini rework for Ash. So some things that we've been talking about. I play a lot of Ash on my stream and like in missions and stuff. As a big Ash player, I don't really care if his abilities are doing damage. I care that his invisibility gets buffed. His invisibility is like 10 seconds at base. So if you jam crazy power strength, you're not even getting like 30 seconds of it. So I think every frame in the game has longer base duration on invisibility than Ash, including Varuna, who's meant to be a stealth assassin. You go in Viz, you kill everybody, you go back in Viz. You're meant to jump in and out of Viz with Varuna. On Ash, you can't even recast it. So he has really bad duration on his Viz at base, which is what the mods scale off of. So that would be a nice thing for me, as for my Ash playstyle. But yeah, there's people that want Shuriken to be good for damage. There's people that want Bladestorm to be really, fast and good. I would love that too. But at the same time, I just don't really play Ash that way, so I wouldn't care too much. But yeah, some kind of big Ash buff would be nice for people that want DPS with Shuriken, I guess. Next, TennoCon Cosmetic. So the TennoCon physical tickets are sold out, but the TennoCon digital tickets will be available soon, and we don't know what the special cosmetic will be. To put it in perspective, last year had that backpack Cyandana, which a lot of people liked, including me. So one of our future squares will give a little more details on this. But yeah, if you think about it, we don't really have any information on what's happening after Infested Liches. So I think that might be another thing they could potentially talk about at some point, either this dev stream or the next dev stream. Next, okay, so we know the update's in March, but we don't know exactly when in March it is. So we have two squares here. Update is in the last 2 weeks of March. It would be a lot of waiting, but hey, make sure they can, iron out all the details, make sure it's nice and shined up, get those nice ephemeras out there for the last 2 weeks of March. It'd be a lot of waiting for sure. Next, update in the first 2 weeks of March. So if you didn't know this, they are actually in hot fixes pause mode as of last week, which means there's no updates to the game coming until the Infested Lich update. No, not even like a small update to fix this thing not working properly. So since it is, updates paused right now, it could be in the next couple of weeks. I hope it is, because, we've been waiting a while for these. So that's what I'm thinking too. I think if I was to have to choose one of these two as far as the real prediction, it would be the first 2 weeks of March. Next, new Dex item showcase. If you watched my video the other day about the announcement of the 12th anniversary, you might have seen that picture of that really nice looking Cyandana on the Dex Excalibur skin. That being said, they have not formally revealed it in game. It is looking like a very nice Cyandana though, with a Lotus energy theme to it. So looks really good, but when we see it in game, we'll be confirmed if it's actually a nice Cyandana we get. I think it will be, though. Next, the free spot. Could just put, your Rally Prime being next on there, right? And then after the accidental leak. So it tends to happen lots of times at DE streams nowadays that Rebecca or whoever will be like, yeah, Lavos Prime, blah, blah. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. So I would actually prefer if DE leaked it over some random person that, data mined the game or whatever. So honestly, if they leak it on their stream, cool, works with me. I prefer DE leaking stuff to other people leaking stuff. So that being said, moving on to the next one here. Infested Liches are difficult. As someone that has overanalyzed the Devstream, probably more than most people have, I have really, really analyzed those combat situations in the Devstream they've shown us, and those Infested Liches are dealing toxin procs on hit. So to put it in perspective, toxin damage in Warframe bypasses your shields, and it also can bypass the one-shot protection that shield getting provides you. So if these Infested Liches are dealing heavy toxin damage, expect to either die on your normal builds or expect to be running tank frames like Dante or whoever to survive their attacks. Or an invisibility frame for that matter. So, that being said, they might be difficult to some players if you refuse to change your build. If you're like, I only play Mag. I love playing Mag. She's my favorite character. Mag is a shield-based character, and enemies that deal toxic damage to you will bypass your shield and kill you as Mag. So, we'll see. Infested has always been that way, where it's like, well, they do deal toxic damage, you can bypass your shield. So we'll see about that. But from the combat analysis I did before, it definitely is looking like you might want to run tank frames for this to an extent. So we'll see about that on Friday night. Moving on, Scaldra weapons seem strong. Did you know there's going to be 5 Scaldra weapons added in this update as well, in addition to the 13 Infested Lich ones? Well, they are, and one of them is going to be a grenade launcher. And it seems to be a grenade launcher with base gas damage. So that might not be the best, it might be okay. But either way, it's the grenade launcher that the Scaldra Denizant uses against us in mission, which does have base gas damage and a relatively large base AoE. There's also going to be some dual swords getting added. They're the Scaldra dual swords, and then there's also a pistol and some other stuff too. So they're looking good, but we'll see how strong they actually are once we see them in action. If they have base gas damage, I'm not sure how good that actually would be on a grenade launcher. Gas corrosive doesn't sound that crazy good. Viral gas sounds okay, but yeah, maybe a gas damage buff could be nice in the future too. Moving on, Exalted Guitar. The new frame Temple is going to be a music-themed frame, and they are going to likely have a proto frame tied to them from what DE has, air quotes, accidentally leaked. So it might be a pseudo-exalted guitar. But either way, if we have a guitar that shoots lightning or a guitar that does anything with Temple, we'll be seeing Temple's abilities. You can fill in this square. And hopefully Temple's going to be really cool. I think Temple will be really good. First frame of 2025. The bar is set very high. If they're getting a proto frame right off the bat, too, right after 709 got a proto frame, if Temple came out was underwhelming, it would be a big, big bummer for everybody. So let's hope not. Next, pseudo-exalted big base stat buffs. So since stat 6 are being removed in this next update, the thing is that for players that use the God Roll Magistar stuff, or the God Roll Ceramic Dagger, whatever you end up using that's really good, our damage is being nerfed, or more like our damage is being homogenized and being given to everybody in the game. Every random player that doesn't even have a God Roll Magistar, doesn't have a God Roll anything Riven-wise, is going to get access to this big damage we've had the whole time. So in practice, this might be, everybody in the game is getting access to this, but the players that have the most extreme damage are getting nerfed down. So they're going to have to buff the base stats to make it actually like that, though. So we'll see about that. I guarantee that Ash will get a buff for his Exalted. And then, hopefully Atlas does too for, more crit chance than Atlas, because Atlas has really bad crit chance. So we'll see. Next, dateable new proto frames. As we said earlier in this video, non-dateable proto frames wouldn't be too surprising, as DE has a lot on their plate. And 4 new proto frames to date would be a lot. But let's say that they have, they have a lot of people working on this stuff. Maybe they'll have the full suite of stuff. New calendar buffs for Proto Ash, or whoever ends up being. New dating sim stuff for Proto Saren, or whoever ends up being. You know what I'm saying? If that is fully fledged out from what they're showing, more power to them. That'll be awesome. Next, future of Stance Forma. So I didn't cover this in my previous Omni Forma video, but do you remember Stance Forma? Did you know that Stance Forma is not becoming Omni Forma? Because Stance Forma is only tied to the stance of your melee. Now, that being said, why can't we just use Omni Forma for Stance Forma at the same time? And the reason Stance Forma won't be the same as Omni Forma is because Stance Forma takes 1 Forma to build, and Omni Forma takes 4 Forma to build. So, that being said, it's like, what do we do with Stance Forma? That no one's going to build it. It's just It's nowhere near as useful as omni forma will be. What are we going to do with stance forma? So I'd love to hear that from DE, what they're going to do with it, if anything at all. It might just end up being a relatively useless item even after this change. Next, Warframe Android info. Might as well put this on every Devstream bingo because the Android players, they love to ask over and over again. And it seems like they are working on it, but there's no real big rush to release Warframe on Android, as Warframe on iPhone has been a mixed bag for DE. Moving on, Caliban Augment. Again, Caliban has been out for a long time and he has no augment, even after his rework. He was in a pretty bad state before, so they didn't even add an augment before his rework. So now that he's gotten a rework, I'm expecting a Caliban augment in this next batch, because it's just kind of funny that Corvex has an augment before Caliban even got one. That's crazy to me. Next one, Temple is Dante 2.0. So the new frame Temple is going to be music themed, as I said. So I was thinking on stream, maybe Temple will be like Dante, where you cast multiple abilities, then cast your ult to put the abilities together. So for example, on Dante you have light verse and dark verse. How about on Temple you have, power chord, guitar solo, and, the ability that puts them all together, like, the chorus. Yeah, power chord, chorus, and then, like, song. If you can make your own songs on Temple, like a bard frame, sort of, and then put them together for different effects, that'd be really cool. But we'll see what ends up happening on Temple. That does sound like a lot of button presses. A lot of people don't like how many button presses Dante is, but at the same time, if you don't like how many button presses, just go play Revenant instead, basically. So, we'll see. I think Temple will be very, very powerful, since they are going to have a proto frame tied to them, but we will have to see with time. That'll be tomorrow. Last two here, Ashe proto frame. Why would Ashe be getting a mini rework if he wasn't getting a proto frame as well? Did you know that Ashe is one of the oldest characters in Warframe as well? He is. He is a very, very old Warframe that I think could use a proto frame, and I would appreciate that too with a mini rework, because I like Ashe. So that'd be a great one to see. And the last one, teaser for the next update after the Infested Lich. This at first was a bingo square tied to a new event, because we haven't gotten a new event since Jade Shadows, but at the same time, we're getting so much stuff in this update that's not an event. I don't think they're going to add a new event. So yeah, I think a teaser for the next update after Infested Lich, like, give us a clue what's happening at TennoCon, basically. That would be very, very nice. And it would, help round things out. We'll ride this Lich hype wave from March into, like, July or whatever. That should be a good sign. So that's basically my my Devstream predictions, guys. Let me know if you have anything fun to suggest as well in the comments down below. I will be live on stream with coverage of this tomorrow. I'll be live on stream tonight too, but there's no Devstream tonight, obviously. So, yeah, well, overview video on this channel, probably like 3 or 4 hours, 2 hours-ish after the Devstream, which starts at 2 p.m. ET with that Omni forma drop. And yeah, guys, I'll see you again very soon. Appreciate your support, and then have a great night. Peace.